Hi, I'm Joanne Nail, and I was one very fortunate young lady who starred along with several others in The Visitor.
Where are you, old man? Where are you? Come out, you bastard! Come out!
Working with John Huston was amazing, and I'll tell you why. He was not only such a sweet and endearing person to me, you know, there was a little conflict. There was a lot of controversy with my Southern accent, and he was the one that kind of intervened and talked to the directors and the producers and said, you know what, don't worry about her Southern accent. I'm going to work with her. And he worked with me more, and you know, I tried working on the accent. Unfortunately, I was young then, you know, from Atlanta. I had an accent. But he encouraged me to like speak slower, helped me get into scenes, wrote me a beautiful paragraph in a book called Rome Remembered. I truly have magical experiences and memories from working with John Huston.
You used your powers to make it go faster.
No, I didn't. I used the switch.
Terrific director, and the first time I ever saw him as an actor. And he was very sensitive, and he had a lot of humor, by the way, which it doesn't come out directly, but it was much more subtle. In a lot of the scenes, he had a twinkle in his eye, and he wouldn't say much, he was very shy, but he saw everything. You knew that he was thinking, and you better know your lines, and you better know what you're doing because he knows what he's doing.
You've been feeling strange lately, Barbara. Confused. This confusion has been transmitted to you from another time, another place.
Glenn Ford, he was pretty cool. He was nice. I never wanted to cuss. I never wanted to say those bad words.
Go fuck yourself.
I was never brought up that way. I was brought up, you know, from a lady who was raised in England, you know, from England, and I was always prim and proper. I never asked for anything. I never was allowed to say that I had to go to the bathroom. I couldn't say that I was hungry. You know, I had to work, and then
Butt up your ass, butt up your ass, butt up your ass.
my mother's like, now you're just in this character, you can say this word, you know, F-U-C-K. I can say the word. We took 2 scenes where I told him to, you know, F off, because other than that, I'm like, let's just say bug off. Can I just say bug off? And so at 2 takes, we did that.
I don't like you. You're a child molester. I bet you do dirty things to children.
You know, I'm worried about you.
Jesus, everybody's worried about me. Susan, my mama, grandmama, they had to go worry about themselves.
Glenn Ford was fabulous. I really enjoyed working with him, and I wish it could have lasted longer. But he worked very well with Katie. They had a wonderful rapport, kind of an adversarial relationship. But I thought he had such great poise and great strength. I've always wanted to work with him. He's been one of my favorites all through the years of the old movies and the westerns and everything. A lot of class, and he was on point every single moment.
It is impossible to ascertain from examination of the wrapping paper and accompanying gold seals whether the package was opened and resealed before the child in question received. That shit.
Okay, Shelley Winters, working with Shelley Winters, well, that's a whole different ball game. First off, we did a scene that I really remember that I will never forget. And we're the scene around the table where we're struggling with one another and we're chasing one another, and she captures me. You know, she chases me, she catches me, and then she slaps me.
You little monster. You see, unfortunately, I had one of my own. I know how to treat them.
We had to rehearse the scene over and over and over again. And through the course of the scene, she would say, you know, I mean, she would hit me. She would literally hit me. We rehearsed it, the practice slap, you know, the head toss and all this. And then it comes to the scene, we're filming it. Bam! She's just smacking the mess out of me. And I'm like, hello, you're hitting me. And she's like, you know what, Paige, I'm so sorry. I just love scenes that I get to hit children.
You will say, where is my mother?
Are you crazy? Where is she?
For once in your life, you will be polite.
I'm like, what? I mean, I'm talking to my mother, get me out of here, don't let this lady hit me anymore, you know. So she's like, after a few more, she's like, that's it, get what you need, we're going. And I don't know if she was being sarcastic, but, you know, I don't know if she was just really trying to get me into character, because boy, I was in character. And I never liked to cuss in that movie, but I meant every single word of it when I was speaking to her in that scene.
God damn you tell me where she is.
Don't you talk to me like that! How dare you talk to me or anybody else like that?
Paige Connor, what a discovery she was, because she had not, I don't know what she had done. It was introducing Paige Connor, so she had never done any films before. I don't know how much television she had done, but she had, I know, had done some commercials and so on, and she reminded me of a very young and prettier Linda Blair. And because she was kind of very much like the Exorcist in that character, or the Omen, or Damon, or so on, she had to be really good in her portrayal of that character. Had to be sweet and kind, and at the same time have that opportunity to be
You know, I had a lot of scenes with my mom, and one scene that I particularly enjoyed was the scene that we were in the bedroom, and I'm talking to her. You know, that's one scene that we really got to exchange a lot of laughter and told jokes to one another, because, you know, we're in bed and we had to pretend she's my mom, and we just laughed. We had a great time with that. I mean, there were a lot of scenes I had to be mean. You had to drag her up the steps, and you know, and then we're spending all night long in a car when those shining lights coming to her, you know, and I'm just sitting there and I'm having the sunglasses and I'm in the back snoozing. I'm like, when is this thing going to be over? Because I had to start at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hello, can we leave now?
The visitor.
Lance Henriksen was a very interesting chap. He had done Pavlo Hummel, I think, or he'd done some stage plays with Al Pacino. And he was very interesting. He was kind of, he was artistic. He was married to an artist, kind of a wonderful earth person. She was very earth mothery, and was an artist in her own right. And he was very intense. We didn't even speak, really, get to know each other until we actually started working on the set. And he and I worked very well together. We also wrote dialogue, because for whatever reasons, some of the dialogue didn't work that well as written. So again, OVIDIO gave us an opportunity to create our own dialogue together, and we were in heaven, because actors love writing dialogue.
Well, The Visitor is a very complicated story in a way, because it takes place again in Atlanta. It's about a guy, John Huston, who is trying to catch all the young people that were under the devil spell, and he was trying to find them and take them back in their innocence.
The producer, I just thought he was like an Italian goddess. I just thought this man is so gorgeous, you know. It's like I was idolizing this man, you know. I'm this little girl around these famous people. How fortunate was I and blessed, you know, to be around these individuals.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello, Sam.
How have you been doing?
I need to talk to you.
Okay. Come up to my office.
Fine.
Afraid we're a bit overcrowded here. This is as near to an office as I get.
Nice man, nice man. Had a reputation of not treating actors really well, you know, on the set, from what I had heard, you know. But now he's an actor. So you'd think that, you know, he's wearing the shoes of an actor now. And so you'd think that he would know his lines and, you know, be on point, be there on set, ready to go, and know exactly what to do. and they paid him a fortune to go and do one day's work. As the sun was going down, he did not know his lines. And they said, please, one more, get this take done, get this take.
So you're pregnant?
Yes.
I seem to remember you told me many times you didn't want any more children.
I don't. But something unbelievable happened. It all took place without my knowledge. I can't have this baby, Sam. You've got to help me get rid of it.
So you want an abortion?
Yes.
And you want me to do it?
Uh-huh.
I had to fly back to Italy twice, and we did post-production, where I sat in a little tiny little cubicle looking at dailies, and as the sun went down, watching his mouth move and create and write dialogue to the scene that he and I should have had completed and done back then. So my voice was used, someone else's wasn't.
God, why does everything have to happen to you? Your accident, the wheelchair, now you want an abortion, the problems with Katie. Everything began with Katie.
And I'm always asking her, you know, why, you're just, you know, she's shaking all the time, she's crying. Here I am going, you know, hi, I'm, you know, Squeaky did it, you know, the gun turned into, you know, the, whatever, I'm like being this happy kid. And, you know, she's frantic all the time throughout the movie. And she was telling me her method. She was method acting, you know, this was her. And she had to take this time to get into her scenes. And I'm like Jimmy Stewart, you know, I just wham, bam, thank you, man. I'm in the scene, I'm good to go.
The whole movie, I was tortured, tormented, harassed, abused.
And crippled.
And crippled, and I had to learn to be a cripple.
Oh my God, what is that? Excuse me. The door was open, so I came in, and no one answered.
Shelley Winters again was in Visitor and Tentacles, and I use her again because we had a great relationship in Tentacles, so we decided that she could be great also in Visitor. She liked the script, she came over and we shot the picture with her. With of course she was not an easy lady to deal with. She had a lot of difficulties for many reasons, but she liked Italian. She liked because she was married to Vittorio Gassman, very famous Italian actors, and she was still, let's say, in love with the Italian and Italy. So she was very happy to do the movie with us again.
Are you going to be here all the time?
Well, for now, just days. But it sort of depends on you, doesn't it?
He was there 1 minute. Have you ever seen Godzilla and Bambi? And the next minute, Bambi was gone. You know, Godzilla went like this, you know, and that poor guy was finished. And I never saw him again.
Hey, what are you doing here, man?
I used John Huston, the Visitor, because I used him before in Tentacles, was a good friend of mine, and we had a sort of, let's say, moral partnership where he was available anytime I needed him in any movie I had to produce.
How did everything go?
Quite all right. Katie went to bed right on time.
Good. How much do I owe you?
$15.
Well, it was quite a good box office, not as Beyond the Door, but we were very happy at the time. The picture did close to $10 million, $12 million over the world, and considering that the budget was $800,000, I think was very interesting result.
The Italian financing was interesting